Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Hello there, No Name. How you doing, my man? It's good to see you once more. Okay, so there's a lot to do here. Definitely looking forward to it. I'm loving seeing this, so this is very nice. Now, somebody did actually comment saying that the President Coolidge is actually the largest troop transport by tonnage that the Allies will receive, so that's rather awesome. That is rather cool. I mean, obviously, if that's true or not, it is unknown, but that is pretty cool. Regardless, it was a very large target, and it does set the bar quite high. So, good kill there. Hello there, Keith. How you doing, my man? Hello there, Commissar Roach. How you guys doing? So, for those of you who are unaware, Commissar Roach is a superb content creator. He does a lot of 40k themed videos, and he's a really good tabletop RPG enthusiast. Definitely worth checking out. So there, Captain Shipwreck, that's what I meant to say. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the economy then. Take a look at the industry. Okay, so we can see here that the armaments production has taken quite a lot of these points here from the heavy industry, which is not too bad, to be honest. It's not really an issue. We do have a lot of heavy industrial points really saved up for the most part, and we're still producing a surplus of heavy industry, so that's not too bad. That's obviously what we need there. Well, as far as it goes, let's take a look at the actual report. We can see here, obviously we are gonna, well, we only produced 620 points of armaments. We have 3,337 there in the actual pool. So, yeah, we are going to have to build that up over time. If we take a look over here then, so armament production then, and just the amount of armament that we had in the actual stockpile. So I suppose it wasn't as bad as we feared there. We could see that in the previous turn we did have 2,657 points of armament production, which was the lowest that we've ever been at. I suppose we would have been lower, but obviously we have negated the deficit by obviously producing armament, so that's not a bad idea. Right, those carriers need some downtime soon. Yeah, they definitely do. Well, that was only hit by one torpedo. I think it went down. I'm not entirely sure if it went down. I feel like it went down. We'll double check anyway. Speaking of TTRPGs, I hope you enjoy those books I sent you. Yeah, man, I'll have a look at those soon. That is awesome. Really do appreciate that. It's just trying to get some people on board to actually play, really, isn't it? That's the hard part. Okay. Right, so we do have 28, well, 27 turns here of data, which is actually rather quite nice. So if we take a look at our heavy industry, we'll turn off everything here barring the heavy industry. You can see, obviously, we did have quite a while where we were able to really just stockpile heavy industry. That was fantastic. Obviously, we had turned off the armament production and really streamlined things, which was quite nice. Manpower, we can see, obviously, there was quite a large amount of manpower usage here. But it's going up, which is quite good. Armament, yeah, we can see that obviously it was a steady and progressively steeper decline here. But then, of course, we can see here that we are now producing armaments once more, and we do produce enough armaments to actually counteract that decline, so we'll be okay there. Vehicles is on the up, which is good. We can see here, yeah, but that is increasing once again. Naval production. Well, naval point production anyhow. Yeah, that one, obviously we are... I believe this was the point at which we probably started to accelerate, or probably... Actually, no, that might have been when we decided to begin construction of the Yamato once again. The Yamato once again, more than likely. I think it was somewhere around about that point there. Okay. Biplane production. So there, Selfish, how you do, my dude? Speaking of actual air production, we are doing fairly well here, so we'll take a look at building. If we go by the amount being built, we can see here that the KI-43-1C Oscar is now the most produced fighter. Actually, the most produced aircraft that we have here. That's really good to know there, Roach. Well, you have a guaranteed person to join in with me. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I definitely have to take a look at it, actually. Okay. So we can see here that at the moment we are producing 71 KI-43-1C Oscars per month and 67 A672 Zeros. Now the Zeros, we do need to roll out to the actual, well, to the Pacific Fleet, the Kinabutai, the Air Fleet there. The Oscars, we are trying to really change out, get rid of the old 1As and 1B models and really introduce the 1C models into the field in a big way. So they are going to be needed, but well, we are sending a squadron out to the Marshals, the 54th Sentai to be exact. Which should be worthwhile. Speaking of which, we'll take a look at them. Okay, so 54th Sentai is over here. Now, we'll see if we have any of the other planes from China that are able to join them. Yeah, 3 of them ready to go, that's fantastic. So transfer then. Ideally, they'll be able to fly with the rest of the actual formation. Okay, currently unreachable due to the actual weather conditions. That is a shame. Let's take a look. Is it bad weather over China then? Yes. Actually, no, it shouldn't be too bad, but it might be this bad weather front over here might be making it harder. How goes AFV production, if there is any? Well, we do have, let's see, it's basically vehicle production for the most part. We are producing... yeah, it's hard to really fathom how much we need. I mean, the LCU side of things is something I'm still trying to learn at the moment. So if we take a look at the LCU production. Let's see here. So vehicles... okay, production pool. So we have 50 vehicles in the pool. Yeah, see, this is what I'm still trying to learn here. Is really how the LCU production works. Yeah, the submarines have been doing fairly well actually lately, which is really quite good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time and really learn and understand how the LCU production works. It would be quite handy. Right, status active. So I believe these, let's see here, 7 days, no, 14 days. Okay, so these units to be made. Right, okay, so we can see the 84th Naval Garrison Unit. Obviously, this is the last part of the 84th. You can see what they'll be arriving with in 14 days. Yep, okay. 2nd Raiding Regiment. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on this side of things really to work out how that one works. Okay, so we can't move the rest of the squadron there. Can you explain how the manpower replacement works in this game? Not quite. I don't know enough about how that side of things work. If it works like Grigsby games normally work, then obviously you need to have the manpower and the actual piece of equipment, and then they're mashed together. But I really can't say how it works in World of Pacific Admirals Edition at the moment in time. I'd love to be able to give an exact answer, but I do have to do some research on that side of things. Okay, can we reach track from here? It would be awesome if we could, but I don't know about that. Hello there, Justin, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, it was a really good turn last turn. We did have a lot of good results there, which is really impressive. It's a shame that Kiributai couldn't have continued the pain that she was bringing, but that's okay. So we'll transfer the KI-43-1Cs to Bab al-Dawab. Okay, so one of them is damaged, but should be ready tomorrow. There's only a slight amount of damage in the actual airframes here. We are resting the squadron as they do make the transfer across the Pacific here, so that's not too bad. But the good news is now that we have 27 fighters, well technically 26 fighters ready here, 27 including the one damaged, but should be ready tomorrow. They'll be able to then, let's take a look, so we can make about 31 hexes at maximum range. 27. Yes, 37. Okay, so we'll actually have the fighters at truck next turn. The good news is he may not actually be aware of this sort of movement. It's unknown really how much you can know about that. And imagine his signal intelligence could probably reveal that information, but it's hard to say. I'm gonna go with he'll probably figure it out sooner or later. Yeah, hitting Singapore hard this turn. Well, the thing is, if we take a look over here, we were due to actually hit Singapore last turn, but the weather actually did disrupt that raid. The A6M2 Zeros didn't fly either. Fatigue's not too bad. 13 there, but of course, if we take a look at the pilots, it's not too bad, really. That's not too bad. We might have actually had a benefit from the rest last turn. Now, of course, I do have 18 zeros in the actual pool here, which is really nice to say, you know. We've not had many zeros since the end. I mean, we've really been lacking on zeros. I eternally do regret the strafing runs at Pearl Harbor at the very start of the war. Oh man, if I could go back and change that, then I would. I absolutely would. But I like that. We've had to learn from these hard mistakes, and it's always good to understand why you shouldn't do something. So, we'll continue. Okay, Georgetown. I'm going to have some supplies sent over here to actually just give the garrison some force. Well, some supply for the time being. We did damage a few bombers over here at Medan, so that's good news. It may be worth our time to consider a raid over here, but it's interesting to see that there's only supposedly 6 bombers and 18 auxiliary, and though our detection isn't perfect here, so things might have changed. Any aces yet? We'll take a look at that one, actually. Right, top pilot is, yep, still 4. So we have Asada, Endo, Kurosawa, Kamihira, Nakajima, Yokoyama, and they're all at 4 kills. Now, Tainan KUS 1, Yamada Detachment 1, and the 3rd KUS 1 as well. Basically, between these units, we also do have the Tainan KUS. So we have 3 pilots from Tainan KUS, we have 2 pilots from the 3rd KUS, and then 1 from the Yamada Detachment. So rather intriguing. We can see here the missions flown, fatigue, experience. So we can see that Nakajima is our most experienced pilot here with 83. If I search by actual experience, is he the most experienced pilot there? He's not far away. He is one of the most experienced, which is quite cool. Yep, looking forward to when we actually do have our first ace. It's a shame that we've lost so many pilots and bombers in the last few days, but we'll be able to make up for that. Now, I am still very surprised that we did have some success over here at Clark. I genuinely did anticipate some sort of, well, counterattack. I really did. It looks like he's moved his aircraft out from Clark to Bataan, which is interesting. Now, we do have a great deal of Ki-21s over here. Not the 2s, not the 2As, but we do have the 1C Sallys, which is quite good. Fair few numbers of those bad boys. Now, they're currently training. In some ways, it might be actually advantageous for us to actually just continue the training mission with these bombers. Perhaps we could always use them against the enemy, potentially at Clark. They could be quite handy. We'll decide. I mean, the army is going to be able to deal with them, so I suppose in some ways it's actually... Excuse me. It's actually in some ways easier to replace the ground units than it is to actually replace the air unit. I don't know. It's an option that we do have, but I'm happy to see that these pilots are gaining experience, and I do think that's actually worthwhile. A little late for the show? What's up there, Fireflint? How you doing, my friend? Okay. So I think I'll hold off on the Ki-21s. Hard to say, really. There is a lot of guns here, so I do worry about the amount of AA that might be potentially raining down on us. That's going to be something we have to bear in mind. Okay. This has just taken ridiculously long. It has been a pain in the arse. I really should have done something about it, but I've been so lazy, it's unreal. Okay, what we're going to do then is cancel that unloading for the time being. We'll tell them and just finish this off, because this is taking the mick. Okay. Oh, for the love of God. The port has been expanded, so that's fine. We'll probably have an expanded port by the time we actually get the tanks off the boats there. Good lesson to learn from them. Okay, so we do have some elements here from the 3rd Division. Yeah, a lot of their guns as well, actually. Can you recommend a guide for logistics and the interface? The manual isn't doing it for me. To be honest... There probably will be a guide in the forum that is quite handy. But do feel free to ask any questions and I can help as and where I can. I suppose in some ways, and it often really is the best way to actually see somebody do it. That does help to actually, well, get the lesson to stick home. Okay. So I think what we're going to do here then is we'll take this by theatre. I think we'll start in China. Shouldn't take us too long in China. There wasn't actually that much action. We did retake Xinjiang, which is fantastic. So when the fall of Chengchao comes here, we'll actually have the rail line open to us once again, which is going to be amazing. I'll be able to actually move my units significantly faster, and that is going to be very important to actually concentrate our forces here. And do pilots lose experience over time? Yes, they do. If your pilots aren't in action or training, they will lose experience. They will bleed it off. So that's something that we do have to deal with, really. The Japanese really don't gain a huge amount of pilots. So we do have to look after our pilots, and I know that is going to hurt because obviously we've lost a great deal already, so that sets us back to a degree. So it might be worthwhile just to train as much as we can for the most part. I suppose I'll watch the 8 hours at the beginning of the series again. I mean, I've learnt a lot since then. So I'd say the actual first episodes really aren't as indicative of where we are now. But yeah, if you have a question, be sure to ask and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Okay, let's take a look at China then. Now we did obviously retake the base over here in the north, which was quite good. I'm quite happy that we've retaken that. He does have a couple of units out here, but they're going to be out there to starve for the time being. I should have a unit on its way to join them, unless it's already here. Yes, it has arrived. Fantastic. So I'm going to tell them to unpack, which is good. So at least we now do have a fairly decent garrison here. 210 assault value. That's fine by me. That is fine by me. Okay. We'll make sure they receive some actual supply there, so yes, supply. Okay. The Chinese front is rather interesting. We did make some good progress last turn. In about 2 days, in about a day or two, we'll actually be closing in on Wenchao. Now, of course, we did have the 22nd Division there earlier, but they were repulsed, actually, rather surprisingly by the men here. But that will not happen again. That will not happen again. We have 2 divisions here. Granted, the 116th isn't at its full strength. You can see there's a difference in the load cost. Obviously, that comes with differences in equipment. 104 guns here. 102 guns, but you can see that the 39th Division has 42 vehicles. It also has a larger second line of support, while as the other division does not. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, the 22nd did see a lot of its support elements lost. But we'll try and make up for that. Hello there, Arif Kirar. How you doing, my friend? Man, I'm so new to this game. What's up with this game, and is it worth buying? To be honest, as far as it goes, Grigsby's War: The Pacific Admirals Edition is probably the best game there is when it comes to actually value for money. Like, if you look at entertainment per hour, well, entertainment per hour versus the amount of money spent, it's ridiculous. Because you can absolutely play this game for years without a shadow of a doubt. And that is what is going to be happening here. I mean, we started this series, me and THG, in, what was it? 2018. Yeah, about September. Yeah, around about September 2018. And we're now... Was it 2018? I think it was 2018. Yep, so we're now bloody in March 2019. And we've only just reached the 2nd of January. So it is honestly amazing. There's really nothing else like this. Though, to be honest, I would very much like in the future to actually play the game again, but a modded version. There's quite a few versions out there that do help to try and simulate a more realistic depiction of the war. So, for example, there's a variety out there where the actual capacity of cargo ships for the Japanese is reduced by 30% across the board to simulate the fact that obviously a lot of this cargo capacity that we do have here was in fact really being used to actually move foodstuffs around the Empire. So that's obviously something to bear in mind. And of course all the other logistics that had to be done. Okay. I'm looking to actually try and move more AA battalions out of here. Or regiments, battalions, whatever you want to call them. I want to move more of them out of here. So at the moment, I do have these forces over here, the engineers, which is not too bad. The ship and engineer regiment is going to be staying here for the most part, obviously to speed up the actual loading and unloading process. The port has been expanded. We'll keep going until it's size 9 or 10, whatever it can manage. As obviously that will speed the entire loading. We know that Port Arthur doesn't have a huge amount of resources. We are really eating these things up. Yeah, really eating them up. 96,000 tons of supply, resources on board, and 27,000 tons of resources there. So in reality, we're probably draining this too quickly. Let's see here then. So that is the main convoy. This would be the secondary convoy. So I think what we're going to do here then is I'm going to cancel this, so cancel their loading. I'm going to put them under my own control, and I'm going to have them make, well, this is it. This area here is beset by enemy forces, which is not particularly great for me. Yeah, I know, right? Pretty big difference between a regiment and battalion. We do have the occasional regiment and battalions. Or brigade somewhere. We always have a mix of units over here. Just trying to remember which one is where. Now, we could probably make it through here, but obviously it is rather a dangerous area here. We do need to rid ourselves of these submarines here. It might be more prudent to potentially head into Kijo and have the supply while the resources make their way down there. But then again, we are losing, using a lot of fuel to do that. We'll continue the run here to Fukuoka. But obviously we are going to have to step up the ASW efforts here massively. We need to score hits here, absolutely. So what we'll do here then is shift the majority of our patrol boats to the area. It does not seem as if he's bothering down here himself, so we need to cover this area primarily. And there we go. In all honesty, I could do with some longer ranging patrol boats to cover this area here. Okay. Do you plan to expand more in China? Yes, we're going to endeavour to do so. 11 knots. Okay, to be honest, I could probably transfer them in there. Yeah, we'll do that. Why not? A little bit more defense there definitely will help. If you can move some AA units to the Pacific, yeah, we'd definitely like to do that. They're not going to do, they're not going to make a huge amount of difference, but it would probably be quite nice. Issue is we do need to spend political points for the most part. Yeah, that's rough. Okay, we'll take a look at ground units here. So we'll take a look at the actual army, and we'll take a look at unrestricted, we'll take a look at the actual artillery. So as you can see here, there's really not a lot that I could... Actually, no, there's a fair amount of AA here. The vast majority of it, as we remember, being at Pescadores. So we can definitely do that. I mean, we do have a few battalions over here. We can definitely use those. So let's see them. What do we have at Pescadores that could potentially carry those AA guns? So that would be the largest there, the 40th. Yeah, they all seem to be around about 18 guns. I suppose it depends on the actual type. Okay, do I have any shipping over here at Pescadores? We only have the mine layer there, the Banshu Maru. So we'll have to take some from Takao over here. Now, I do have these, yeah, that's set up for some sort of mission. I still have the 5th Air Division aerial headquarters over here. I would like to move that elsewhere, to be honest, but I'll keep it there for the time being. What I'm going to do then is have these ships head over here to Pescadores. To be honest, some of these are rather slow, so what we are going to do here then is I'm going to get rid of these slower boys. As for the most part, they do have... not really the cargo capacity nor the speed I'm really looking for. So when it comes to the AA regiment, let's take a look at it. How big are they? So load cost is 1095. Right, troop load cost is 0, so very light when it actually comes to the troops there. The main part here then really is the cargo capacity. But that's fine. 8 centimeter AA guns are quite good. That's good to know. Yep, so we'll get these loaded up. They don't seem to be too heavy, actually. It would be nice, actually, to take a fairly speedy transport and have them taken out. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do here, then, is have a minimal refuel at sea. So just share that fuel around. There we go. Once we do arrive in Japan, we'll be able to fuel them up again. It's not slowing them down too terribly much. We actually do have a fair amount of fuel over here at Naha, at Okinawa. Very good. Okay. Time it's allowed now. To be honest, a lot of these destroyers could actually be really quite handy over here. So let's take a look then. So what do we actually have in terms of ASW combat? So I don't think all of these destroyers are actually capable. Yeah, so we have the Sagiri and the Tsuta. Not particularly amazing. What I am going to do then is I'm going to have them actually sent over here to Nagasaki. So I'll have them sent to join in the anti-submarine warfare effort over there. Now we do still have 4 destroyers over here. These guys are the Fubuki class. Their upgrades in the future will actually give them anti-submarine capabilities, which is very handy actually. As at the moment they don't have that. Actually they could be upgraded this month actually. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so the upgrade is actually currently available. Okay, now that is really handy. I might actually have them sent into port to actually begin the upgrade process. Now, I'd imagine that could probably take about I don't know how long that could potentially take, to be fair. I don't know if I have any import to be able to find that information out. But that's really good news. I'm glad that we actually do have the upgrades available for them. So we'll take a look at what we can do then. Let's take a look at these guys. See, these men, these guys can be upgraded too as well. Right, what do we gain here? I wish you could have, like, a comparison. Right. The anti-aircraft armament is increased. Okay, actually, if we go over here then, so gun value 446666 maneuver. Yep, okay. So it gives them the anti-submarine warfare capability. Can the APD be upgraded with the radar? Not yet, not yet. Yep, Hong Kong would be fantastic. I mean, we do have a large shipyard over there, and we do have a naval headquarters over there as well. So that's quite handy. I'm kind of tempted to actually have the minesweeping task force actually upgraded, to be honest. Let's take a look. Can I get an idea of how long it would take? Okay, these seem to be a different class, so this is the W-17. The other ones are, let's see, W-13s. Our W7 class over here then. Not as spectacular amounts of AA, but at the end of the day it is going to be worthwhile. We'll keep them up to date. So let's see here then. So if I was to upgrade... What I'll do here then is I'm going to disband the actual task force. So, disband them. Let's go over here to Hong Kong. Now at the moment... support, naval support is what I'm looking for. I don't think we have any naval support here at the moment, as far as I can see. Aviation support. No, so we don't have any naval support here at the moment in time, but obviously once the headquarters are unloaded, we will have that. So let's take a look over here then. Show ships due upgrades. Due to upgrade. So that was the W10, which is the one I actually clicked yes on. Oh, wow. Okay, so actually that's not going to take long to do then. Very nice. So we might only be looking at about 2 days, give or take, for the various classes over here. Not too bad. But that would be quite nice, actually. In effect, I could actually use these destroyer minesweepers as ad hoc anti-submarine warfare vessels for the most part. But it would be nice, obviously, to give them the, the anti-aircraft upgrade. It's just going to obviously make them, in general, more survivable and more useful. But yeah, having the actual Type 95 depth charges on there would be quite good too. That'd be very nice. Check your cruisers like cruisers as well, and make sure as well. I say make a list of ships that can be upgraded. Yeah, that'd be nice. To be fair, let's see. Go to the tracker. Ship upgrades. Overdue. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We can see everything that is going to be, well, that can upgrade now, actually. So that's very good information there to see. We also get to see the current class and what it upgrades to. Yep, oh, brilliant. It actually tells us exactly what it does here. So the Fubukis can be upgraded, so we can see here then it actually changes the endurance from 4,000 to 4,750. Oh, that is amazing then. So that is actually going to make the destroyer infinitely more usable. So remove the the two front-mounted 12.7s and the four 12.7s at the rear there. Okay. So that's the superior gun, so that is the 3YT-TB, which replaces the 3YT-TA. Change the number of center-mounted 13.2mm Type 93 AA machine guns from 2 to 4, okay. Added 2 rear-mounted Type 95 depth charges. Added 2 center-mounted Type 95 depth charges. Fantastic. Yep, I can see here then different classes. Adds 2 center-mounted Type 95 mod 2 depth charges there. Adds 3 center-mounted 25mm Type 96 air guns. Okay. So it seems like some of the older classes just don't really gain the AA. Change ammo, rear-mounted 12cm gun from 18 to 16. Okay, so it has a ammo reduction, so munitions reduction. That's fine. The USEN A. Interesting. So I could have that upgraded. It would actually decrease the capacity in both troop and cargo, but it would actually add some front, right, and left mounted AA guns. We'd also gain, so we'd have that gun removed there. Okay, increases the ammunition as well for the AA machine guns. Not really worthwhile, is it? But yeah, we'll upgrade the Destroyer Minesweepers and the Fubukis if we can do so. So that's quite cool. Now if I take a look at what will be coming then, let's see, next month. Okay, so we'll have the Tenru class of light cruiser able to upgrade. Increases their AA. Yeah, the Mutsuki class, the Kamikaze class, and the Minikaze class can upgrade. This class of AMC can upgrade. And actually reduces, or actually seems like it removes the aircraft capacity. It does really increase the troop capacity though, that is rather impressive then. From 1700 to 3400, that's rather nice. We see a few guns removed here. Type A8. Yep, it removes the torpedoes, removes a fair amount of the actual armament here. But that's not too bad, it actually changes it from an AMC to an actual troop transport. To be honest, I do like the AMCs. I will keep them around. 1700 troop capacity is still a fair amount of capacity for something that is armed. Obviously, it can't stand up to any sort of warship itself, but it's not bad to really have. It's nice to have something with torpedoes as well. I mean, torpedoes, it doesn't matter what the target is. It could have a good shot at killing them. So that's something to bear in mind. I do wonder, does it actually use the Type... so that is a Type 92 torpedo. Was the Long Lance torpedo the Type 92 or the Type 93? I can't remember exactly which one it was now. Next 2 months then. Subchasers, torpedo boats, okay. Then we can have the Takao class of heavy cruiser upgrade. Yep, increases their AA and anti-submarine warfare capabilities. Fantastic, fantastic. Let's take a look at conversions then. Availability, okay. Supposedly they're all available. Right, obviously that's later on. Ah, that's not too bad then. So the actual Megami class of heavy cruiser could actually be converted here. Increases endurance. Increases fuel capacity. Increases the amount of aircraft as well, actually. It does remove AA capacity, but it does add a Type 21 radar. And, well, actually, no, added 15 right-mounted 25mm Type 96 AA guns. Okay, so it looks like we remove a couple of these AA machine guns. These 20cm. Yep, so it looks like we remove potentially some of the turrets here, or one of the turrets or two of the turrets. We'll go and take a look at a Megami event to actually get an idea of that. Is this Azuya no longer here, or is she still technically under repair? Yeah, here she goes. Oh, the Maya. She's actually in Maya class, okay, so she's not 101 right now. I'd imagine there'll be a Megami probably over here with the Singapore Express. Now, speaking of Singapore Express, I do need to take a look at their fuel situation. That one's not too bad, really. They are fairly close to Indochina and sources of fuel for us, which is not too bad. So let's take a look at the Megami class then. Yes, okay. It definitely looks as though we lose some of the turrets there. Yeah, so we lose the rear-mounted turrets there. But that's not too bad, you know. We might actually seriously consider that conversion there. At the end of the day, it does give them the capability to actually host 11 aircraft. And that could be really quite effective. You can imagine if we had like 11 E-13A1s with each of our task forces, that could be quite good actually. That would be quite good. The fact that we actually do gain the radar. We'll take a look at the actual upgrade of the Megami. Yeah, she wouldn't upgrade until 1943. She would then gain the Type 21 radar. It may actually be worth it, to be honest. It would actually be possibly quite worthwhile. See, I'd be rather intrigued to see if we could actually have them carry, like, float fighters. But I don't imagine they'd be able to, like... They're obviously not a carrier, are they? But it would be intriguing. Okay, we'll consider that one. Okay. So, a bit off topic there, a bit off the hilt there, but we'll get on with it. I do have a tendency to get really off target, really off task. Okay, so show this here, then what I'm going to do is go for each of these ships and actually make sure they upgrade. This shouldn't take too long, which is going to be great. Oh, there we go, allow upgrades to ship on the list. And that's good to know. Right then. So, ships under repair. Interesting. So I've only seen about 4 of them here. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. We wouldn't be able to run, like, A6M20s from them. I don't think we'd be able to, like, run the float fighters from them as such. I don't know exactly how I'd be able to do it. I may not even be able to, like, host float fighters. It might be just float planes. Which is still worth a lot in and of itself. Okay, let's take a look at some of these guys. Oh, okay, so some of these models... Actually, no, they should be okay. We may only be able to do so many at a time, then, so that's not too bad. So we're looking at about a day or two for a few of these to be worked on, which is not too bad, then. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. Very good, very good. Okay, good. And they're in a perfect position to actually carry out that upgrade. So, very handy there. That worked out quite nicely for us. Okay, so I'd like to take some actual supply over here. 7,700 tons, yep, that's fine. 2 patrol boats there, yep, that's fine. I'm going to have you head into Hong Kong so you can actually unload some supply there. I'm going to actually have you based in Hong Kong. So it's good to have some supply, well, some cargo capacity here and there. Right, you'll march on Chushian. Really quite capable commanders here. That regiment would be nice elsewhere. To be honest, I could reform the 51st Division quite easily then. Okay, so we do have some AA Defense Regiment, well, an actual regiment over here. We do have a fairly good-sized battalion too. Now, I'd imagine these guys are restricted, but that's fine. We can have them changed over using political points, but this would be quite good. So we do have 24 guns here. So we do have 16 8cm Type 99 AA guns. Yeah, very good. Okay, would very much like to have them taken alongside the actual division. The 65th Brigade over here would be nice to use as well in the future, but the 56th Division, very good. So they are getting ready. Now, they are training and preparing for Palembang. I suppose in some ways, are we going to have them head to Palembang, or are we going to have them push on Java? I don't know, really. I don't think there's a great amount of troops in Sumatra, so I don't think it'd be a terribly hard task. I'd imagine he's going to have a fair amount of troops in Palembang, though. That's the difficulty. See, I do need some warships down here. We don't really have a huge amount. But to be honest, we do have the Singapore Express, which is going to be quite good. We might use the Singapore Express to actually hit these forces out here, but I'm not going to do that. In all honesty, I don't need to. What we are going to do here, then, is we are going to begin moving into the Celebes Sea. That's what we need to do. Now, I could potentially use the aircraft over here to support actions across here, but we are going to use them actually for their reconnaissance ability. Have them make their way down there. I'm going to look to move through deeper ocean. So this is shallow, so I'm going to tell them to move through the deeper ocean. Actually, no, the shallow ocean's probably... Yeah, we'll move by the shallow ocean then. Then obviously... yeah, that should actually help me out. Okay, Chiyoda. Oh, wow. What the hell are these options? I do some weird things, I swear. Right, not quite range at Beaufort, but we do have range of these bases here. So yeah, we'll run reconnaissance over these bases then, and that will help us to really get a better picture of what is going on in the area. I could potentially have these F1M2P actually upgrade to the E13A1 Jakes once we arrived at Bab al-Dawab, which is where we're going to be going really to refuel for the most part. Some crazy options. And right, there we go. Okay, it's not really... Oh, actually, no. Miyoko. I'll run your 9 operations then. Right, there we go. At least we'll actually have our search settings set up properly there. I think we must have forgotten about that one. While we are in enemy waters, we are going to change to a actual attack footing, so we can't really be bothered about the SW. We do have to be ready to actually hit anything. Not that we really have much in the way of air power here. I'm going to increase the amount of A6M2 that are basically kept behind to actually guard the carrier force, because in reality we may actually suffer some sort of attack here. Which is actually fairly likely, to be honest. Okay. Continue the reconnaissance of these islands. Cebu actually has a fairly light garrison. Okay, we'll head over here to Bavaldoab and then link up with some actual warships. Though we do have 2 destroyers here, an APD and 2 torpedo boats. So it's not completely without any teeth, but it's not particularly suited to anything. Okay, so we're waiting the 84th Naval Guard. Hello there, Stockman. How are you doing, my friend? Yep, we are waiting the 84th Naval Guard over here, so we can actually have the AMCs carry that 4th. First Raiden Regiment. What I'm going to do here is actually take the 2 sub-chasers and have them sent to Saipan. There we go. They're making good speed. Okay. It may be that we could even use potentially parachutists to actually aid in capturing Ramal. That would be interesting. Okay, so I'm doing it again when I'm getting like sidetracked. Let's go over here to China, finish China off first. So the Fort of Xinjiang, we do have that open and available now. So what we are going to tell our men to do here, we do need supplies, so we are going to basically hold off for the time being. So I'm going to tell all of my men here to go into the bloody rest and training mode. They're all, for the most part, different objectives. Xinjiang, Wuchang. Okay. I'd like them to plan for Changsha, perhaps. We could have them push towards Nanyang, perhaps. That might be worthwhile. If we take a look at the actual terrain here, let's see. I mean, this is all clear terrain. It would be quite handy. And it might actually be prudent that we do something like this. Let's bring up the actual drawing tools here. And we'll take a look at what we actually know about the position of THG and what's really going on here. So, for example, we are aware about 200,000 Chinese forces over here, sorry, Ichang really, which is a huge amount of force. That is a lot of men there really bound up. But I think what we will be doing here then is, for the most part, holding on to probably this position here. The reason being it's on the other side of the river. Which, in reality, could be either really good or really bad if we don't have enough men there. If we have enough men, it'll be an absolute slaughter of Chinese forces, but if we do not have enough men, it would be an absolute slaughter of our own forces. And it's one of those things where it's only going to go one of the two ways, really. So it might be worthwhile for us to, in fact, wait for the 34th Division to actually reach the friendly forces and then pull back to Hankow, which is probably going to be the better idea. At least with Hankow, granted it still looks like rough terrain. I'm not entirely sure if that is rough terrain. It's not particularly the best position. It does actually allow the enemy out. But we might, I don't know, it's one of these things. If I wait here, we are going to get probably bum rushed by tens of thousands of Chinese forces. And I don't think a single division could stop that. It could give them a bloody nose if it was lucky. But we'll see. We'll see. Now we do have a single Chinese unit over here, what remains of it after the fall of Xinjiang. What I'm contemplating here then is we actually begin an advance over here, towards Nanyang. The reason for that is if we do take Nanyang, it does somewhat, does cut this road over here. And it does place something of a barrier here. So as you can see, we are sort of trying to, well, we are trying to build up a barrier against the Chinese forces over here. That is effectively what we're trying to do. Though, of course, he would still have this position over here to the north. So he'd still have this one here. But he has no rail connection. He does have a road, but it's not particularly great. It could be. Yeah, so 200,000 troops over here at Ichang. 200,000 there. Something in the region of 220 to 230,000 troops over there. Maybe about 250,000 men, give or take. We do have the forces over here to actually take control of this area. It would be a bloody fight, but it could be one that may be won. So what we might be able to do here then, if we are bold, we could take advantage of this. We do have our garrison, well, our division over here to just hold this front over here. Actually going to use a bolder colour, that's a little bit easier to see on the eyes. So yeah, we could keep the division over here, potentially even both divisions in this position here along with our forces. And which would actually be quite a nice blocking force. So we could use them as a blocking force to actually keep the men from Ichang from really interfering over in this area. And we could have our men from Xi'an. We do have a few divisions over here as well, so I could even leave a division or some smaller force to hold the actual city itself. Xinjiang, sorry. What we could do then is defeat this unit, take control of Nanyang. I don't know what a garrison of Nanyang could look like, but I don't think it's going to be too large. We could then, by the grace of God, actually march over here to Xi'an. If I was to actually seize Xi'an, we do take control of this rail line for what use it is, but it could be quite handy. And in effect, it would help to isolate these Chinese forces over here, which would be quite good actually. It would actually put us in a position of which I could actually try to annihilate them in detail. I think that's going to be quite good. It would outmaneuver him, and it would open us up to actually conquest of fairly useful positions. If we take a look over here then, so Nanyang. Not a huge amount of resources. It's not a large Chinese city, really. Xi'an has some oil, heavy industry, and refineries, light industry. Yeah, resources. It's a fairly decent production centre there, to be honest. It's fairly decent. The main part is it's actually one of the few centres of oil and a refinery. Granted, it's only a small one, but that would be a nice little trickle of fuel and oil over here in China. Would be a very nice trickle. If we take a look at the tracker. So, resources. Oil and resources. So if we take a look at China. Oil produced. Yeah, so China actually produces no oil for us here. Hello there, Keith. How you doing, my friend? Yep. Only a small amount of oil over here in Burma. Apparently at Victoria Point. We can see that, actually, no, there's oil stored, but we can see over here, Korea produces a small amount of oil, Formosa, a small amount of oil. So yeah, just taking a little bit of oil in China would be nice. It would actually go some ways to actually help our oil and fuel situation. It would be good to actually have the refineries there. It would be quite nice. It's really far in the interior of China, so it's not particularly amazingly useful, but it would be nice to actually capture. And the resources and light industry would be quite handy, though. So I think we'll make a move there to the north. Now, these men here... I'm going to need this artillery elsewhere. So what I'm going to do here then is we are going to begin to move north. So they're currently planning for Wuchang. What I'll have them do then is we'll have them actually march north. So if we're to march north of Nanyang, so 138 miles northeast. I could give them some actual armor here, the 9th Armored Car Unit. But I'm not going to do that. Medium field artillery. Mountain guns there. Mortars. Independent mountain gun. Okay. So the 12cm T38 howitzer. We also do have some air machine guns there too. Not many, but a few. Now, I'm going to have them similarly head north to Nanyang. There we go. I do have a regiment here. So the 31st Division. Xinjiang, Luchaoma, Xinjiang, it's all over the place. They're really going to be responsible for holding the city here. Okay, these men. We're going to begin to build fortifications. So we'll have a division and 2 artillery regiments, well, 2 artillery units moving north then with them. Which is not a bad force. The idea here is going to be, while the amount of resistance in this central area is light, use that to our advantage. So let's see here then. You're in reconnaissance of a Changsha. 75,000 men there. 22 fighters, 11 bombers, 6 auxiliaries. What I'm going to do then is instead of that, I'll take this unit that is obviously going to be looking over Luoyang. Didn't particularly mean to do that, but fine, it comes in handy. What I'm going to tell them to do is actually run reconnaissance over here in Nanyang. Let's get an idea of what's going on. So you're moving to Kaifeng. You should actually be able to make it down here to Shanghai. I'll have this unit travel down there as well. I'm going to build an airfield here. The The reason being, I'd like to have a second base on that rail line there. So I can actually have the options. I do worry about counterattacks here in this area, so it would be nice to have something there. Okay, you are building fortifications, that's good. 19,000 men. Did you like my meme? Which meme was that actually, if I missed that one? Probably missed it. You'll have to resend it so I know which one you're talking about. Hello there, Blinson, how you doing, my friend? So there, G-Man, how you doing? So for those of you who are somehow unaware of the Battle Group Gamer, he's definitely worth checking out on YouTube. Does some really awesome World of Warships content. Plays alongside Lieutenant Rainbow Slash, another good creator there. Definitely worth checking those guys out. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, I've also continued to march on Kukong. Not too far out. I'd say about 3 to 4 days now. Maybe about 5 days, probably tops. But once we actually do reach Kukong over here, it would be quite good. We'd be able to make the long march north to Hengyang. But the good news is we'd actually be able to take out this area. I might even detach a unit or have another unit, or even take the division and have it advance on Kanxian. And then we'd really have these forces cut off, and the south of China would then effectively fall under our complete control, which is obviously what we need here. And the thing is, obviously we have used the river here at the heart of China to really secure control of the interior. It's a shame that we can't use the river to actually move up over here, otherwise this area could have been conquered quite easily. Look in general of the Discord. Okay, sure, I'll take a look in just a moment here. 2 secs. Haha! Yeah, I like that one. ACRG have battleships with no air cover, biplane sinks battleship. I like that. Oh dear. I like that one, that has amused me quite a lot. And so you can ask about new aircraft formation, so that you get a new general, new squadrons at points, but can you form new ones with your own production? Thank you very much there, Blinson, that's really bloody appreciated. Gosh dang it, Lost Nest Monster. I ain't giving you no darn 350 times to... I'm really bad at these things. I don't know what it is. I've got a little bit of a cold at the moment, but man, that's really appreciated by Blinson. Maybe after this, if we've got time, we could always play a bit of World of Warships if you've got an EU account. You know, I've actually seen a new game on Steam that I do like the look of. It does look rather interesting. So I know this is like really serious episode and everything, but I'm just going to show you guys this while I'm here. Where is it? Oh yeah, I've heard supposedly good things about Outward. I have supposedly heard it is a decent game. What I do find interesting is supposedly it's fairly good for the multiplayer. I don't know how many people can join, but supposedly it's meant to be good. I don't know if any of you guys have played it, but I'm kind of thinking that if this turns out to be okay, this could be a game we could all play together. And can you actually move ships upriver to bombard? We can move ships upriver to about Hankow, but beyond Hankow we can't move them upriver anymore, which is unfortunate. Okay, so I do have my transport down here. She has arrived, so let's see. Cargo. Okay, so that is obviously the main force there. I do have a troop transport here. A couple of patrol craft. Fairly short ranged, however. These are the Momi class. That's fair enough, man. So where is it you're from, Blinson, then? I don't know why, but I've got an idea in my head maybe from Singapore, but I don't know if that's correct. I can't remember if you're actually American or Malaysian. It was one of those, I think. I know it's a bit of a leap between the both, but I don't know, it's probably one of them. So we're going to tell the ship over here is to actually begin to load up. Yeah, and retirement is allowed. But what I want you to do is actually take some additional supply up there to Hankow. The issue with China is the amount of supply that we have here in the actual theatre, because we don't have a huge amount. We really do not. As we do need to be very careful with it. I may send a force to take control of Pakoi. A couple of resources there would be nice to actually have control of the area. It's a size 3 port as well. Issue is, it doesn't appear to have any bloody roads out there. I suppose there's some really low density roads, and nothing to write home about. Oh, North Carolina. I don't know why I thought you were Malaysian. I don't know why. That's strange. Yeah, I don't know why I got Singapore. I don't know what it is. I swear to God, I must have confused with somebody else then. You love it, really. You saucy fucking bitch. Okay. For the most part, there's not too terribly much to do here. We are really ticking along, well, yeah, ticking along quite nicely. Suchao's complained about the lack of garrison, but I do have a force on the way down there. Yeah, I know, right? How are these men getting on over here? Not too bad. I gotta wait until they make it to Xinjiang before giving them another actual objective. I don't want it to override their progress. You know what? I can imagine Singapore has a lot better fucking internet than I do as well. Okay. For the most part, we are waiting then on the patrol boats over here at Osaka to come out. I'm either Scotland or Alaska. I like that. Okay, 10 days. 10 days we'll have a decent amount of extra patrol boats. Actually, in about 4 days we'll have a few more as well. That's quite good. Chicago Maru, so we are converting some of these ships. They are going to take a long time. The Chicago Maru is being converted to an aircraft tender, which is going to take 174 days. Hell of a long time. So we'll be able to use her next year. Speaking of Singapore, have you considered sending a large number of bombers? I can imagine with nothing but sweeps lately, their airfield is almost fully repaired. Oh yeah, I can imagine it's been fully repaired for like weeks now. We did try to send a raid here, but the bad weather isn't helping us. I could send additional, and the numbers are increasing again, which is nice. These Oscars didn't do a great job last turn. Fair amount of experience there. I don't know how I feel about these aircraft. Their gun value is just... it's just not up to scratch. Really isn't up to scratch, but at the end of the day we do have to continue to use them. So I'm going to have them run 100% combat air patrol over Mersing. Let's see here. We're still loading troops over here. This has taken quite a while. Much longer than I would have actually imagined. We'll allow it to continue. A couple of minesweepers over here. Oh, fantastic. 2 of them are now serviceable. Now, that is good news. Yep, 9 days until the other one's ready, but this is good. We can actually transfer them out into the Pacific then. Okay. Transfer to base. The range on these babies is amazing. So they could reach about Saipan. I'm going to fly you to Babaldoab. I mean, granted I could go to Saipan, but I don't have as much there in terms of aviation support as I do at Babaldouab. So we'll have you sent over this way. There we go. Very good, we'll be able to move more H6K4s out there. Which is obviously what we need. They're unpacking. We do have the 14th Army headquarters making their way down here. How much time you spent per turn approximately? I don't know really, it does depend, but it's usually a good few hours. Usually a good few hours. Let's see. I mean, as for how long the actual playlist is in total, let's take a look. I mean, obviously, I do need to add the new episode to the playlist, so I'll just do that. I don't know, I don't think this turn is going to take me as long as the last one did. Mostly because we do have a lot of things working in our favour right now, and in reality we just need to make minor adjustments for the most part to get things going. We've restarted armament production, we'll take a look at R&D, but for the most part, yeah, I don't think it's going to be the longest turn ever. Come on YouTube, play ball. Right. I'll just add the new episode to the actual playlist, and then I'll be able to find out how long I've actually spent there. Right, there we go. 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, so the playlist is 6 days, 15 hours, 57 minutes, and 55 seconds long at the moment. Obviously, it's going to be longer when I add another hour to it, at least here. But yeah. Oh, cool. That's interesting. I didn't even know they did that. Ooh. You can zoom? Oh, wow. Okay, they've really updated this. Nice. Yeah, so we can see here then, on average, it's kinda... yeah, at least an hour. Man, 4 hours on that day. Operation MO. Will you order a fighter sweep over Suva? I'm not going to do anything like that until I have reconnaissance for the most part. Did you move A5Ms in the direction of KYJ? Are we talking about the ones over here at Babaldouab? Yeah, we do have them over here actually. Good point, I almost forgot about those guys. We'll have you transfer to truck then. Okay. Now, from truck, they might be able to make it. I doubt it. Yeah, I really doubt it, actually, considering they only made it from here to here. It may be that we have to transfer them to Panapay. And then over here, but we really do need some sort of transport to get them across there. My big fear is after seeing the first bit of damage you did with Kitabutai. If THD is headed for your supply lines of Wake or other islands, do you think you should get your ships out? The ships are mostly out for the most part. I mean, we do have a lot of patrol boats here still remaining. Yep, I mean, this is it. So I've actually been taking a look. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and create a... I think it's a motor gunboat that actually has the XW assets. So you can see that uses a little bit of supply. We'll create a PT boat while we're here then. Okay, so the MGB. Yep, she actually does have some anti-submarine warfare capabilities. Not much in the way of depth charges, but it is worthwhile to have. We also then have the MTB. So the motor torpedo boat. Yeah, she has some torpedoes. What we're going to do then is actually combine them into a task force, if I can do so. This will help us out. So Surface Combat PT boat, I guess PT boat. Put them both in here, G3, G5. As we'd like fuel. Okay, patrol this area. Yeah, there really is quite a lot here, isn't there? Can't do the same here. Right, she's unloading some supply. 2 patrol boats here. $3,000 tons of supply there. That's not bad. Has this unit been spotted? It's not been spotted, so that's very good. I think when it comes to ASW, I think it's more so the actual pilot experience, and I think obviously having something with like really good range is good. So I suppose for us at the moment, probably be like the G4M1s. Possibly, possibly. Right, what I'm going to take here then is the Kyusumi Maru. I may have her actually sent over here to Ponape Island. The reason for that is it would be nice to actually have some aviation support here to run potentially flights from. It would be a nice actual point here to actually defend the Marsh Islands from the rear. Well, actually, just as another point to guard the Marsh Islands. I would like to have that special base force actually sent down here somewhere. It would be fantastic to use over at Rabal. But I'm going to have it sent to Ponape, just for the time being. Well, Ponape. Consider the fact of the amount of submarines over here. If the HG raids the Marsh Islands, he won't do much damage because there isn't much of value left. Yeah, pretty much. He'll obviously do damage. He could damage the infrastructure here, which would take some time to actually repair. But it's not a terrible situation. Still loaded some supplies over here. Right, I need to get these guys out. We do have a couple of patrol boats here. So what we're going to do here then is actually change their direction. I'd like to head to Nauru Island for the time being. Though, we'll do instead then. We'll have you head over there to Ponape. How the hell you pronounce it? Use our waypoints though. I'm going to have you actually set out this way. The beautiful thing here is we actually do have the advantage of reconnaissance here, which is very nice. Oh yeah, we're actually sending some resources to fight the submarines over here in the Marsh Islands. But in reality, when it comes to actually let's say a carrier group, well, an American carrier task force is spotted. I mean, it'd be beautiful could actually have, if we actually had the ample time to spot them, that would be required. And actually have like a day or two to really appreciate what is going on. Then, It would be nice to actually have the planes readied. But for the most part, we're not going to send carriers here. We just can't afford to do so. The Marshall Islands must stand on their own. There's no other recourse. So the I-2 has been spotted. See, this is the issue as well. He's obviously going to be aware of my submarines. Yep, sure. See you in about 10 minutes there, Blinson. And the difficulty here, well, we do have an actual naval fortress and an actual base force here. Only 6 guns. Use and ends are quite good. Right, cancel the unloading process. What I'm going to do here then is take the Shonan Maru and disband her. Okay, so that allows them to actually make some progress. Can I make even more? No, I can't. So we have you in there. Right. Head for Tarawa if you can. Yeah, you have a little bit of endurance there. She's very small. She's actually fairly maneuverable, though. That's impressive. Head for Tanawa. She might be small, but at the end of the day, we don't want to lose anything. I believe she was from AMC, perhaps. Would actually over our support here. We'll grit our teeth for the time being. So I do need this AMC, well, ACM to actually lay some mines if she can. Right, what we're going to do here then is, well, we do have the second independent SLF unit over here. When will the rest of it arrive? Okay, well that's actually good to know then. It seems like that is all we're going to get with that. Yeah, 4th independent, 5th independent. So that's about as large as it's going to get then. That's fine. And what is your plan with the counterattack if DHG will attack the Marshall's carriers? Well, what we're going to have to do here then is we are working on moving fighters to the Marshall Islands. For example, we do have now 27 Ki-43-1Cs in total over here, and the 54th Sentai Squadron. So a fairly experienced squadron. And tomorrow there'll be a truck, the day after they'll be in the Marshall Islands, give or take. What we're going to do here then is, well, we'll see how things go. We're not going to look to engage at a distance, but we are in possession of a fair few naval bombers over here. We do have 2 squadrons at the Marshall Islands. We do have a squadron over here of G4M1s at Wake. Now, I do think Wake could be a real big target. I think one of these things, I don't know. We don't know if he even has carriers at Pearl Harbor. We always have to remember that one and always take that one into account. But I do feel, depending on our sort of response, I suppose this is it. I don't know what sort of, like, I don't know. I don't know what he's looking for in my response, really. I think he might be possibly cautious. And rather than hitting Kewalagin Island, how the hell you pronounce it, rather than hitting the Mandate Islands, he may instead go towards Wake Island. Purely Wake. And the thing about that is, it's not a bad idea. He could do some damage there. The good news, however, is the fact that obviously we have sent a base force out there. It would, of course, be quite nice to have a fair amount of AA. We do have a couple of search planes. We're really praying for the most part that we can pick up any sort of activity approaching Wake. But I do think Wake could be the target. I'd love to pick up the rest of the force over here, the rest of the 24th Infantry Regiment. We really need these regiments. But we'll have to wait. We'll see what happens. We haven't seen any American carriers as yet as far as, like, direct confirmation of them. But we'll see. There may yet be time. I think Urakazi is still here. Yeah, she's not going to repair. We'll have her worked up and made ready. She's not going to be perfect. She does have a fair amount of engine damage, which is also going to reduce her speed, but at the end of the day it would be nice to actually have a ship that could potentially fight if needs be. We're still unloading forces over here. Unloaded supply too. So it looks like none of them can actually dock due to the port size. What I'll do here then is... okay, dock. So now this ship over here can actually dock, and she is holding on to a couple hundred troops over here. You have no troops. Heiwa Maru. Roundabout of same. Right, she can't dock, that's a shame. Yeah, it's around about the same numbers here. So we do have a fair amount of supply in these ships. See, the thing is, these G4M1s, they can't actually run torpedoes from here. At least it seems like that. It seems as if they can't really use the torpedoes. So what we may do here then is continue to run the anti-submarine warfare patrols around here, at least from the island itself. And then what I'd say is probably on the first sighting of actual trouble, I think we'd have them pull out from Wake Island and head down here to the Marsh Islands. I mean, if I take a look at what we could potentially do here then in terms of resistance. So we are building up the fortifications now. So we have 24 engineers here at the moment. We may still have yet more to arrive on the island itself. But the good news is, let's see. 21 guns. The Maizuru 2nd SNLF, Special Naval Landing Forces. Okay, so you have some, you have 7.7 T99 AMGs, AAMGs. We do also have 4 13.2mm T93 AMGs. So very good man, how you do, my dude? So, nothing really spectacular at all. Take a look at the base force. Okay. Not quite ready yet, but we will have 25mm T96A guns, and we'll also have some 13.2mm T93A machine guns. Now, I don't think he's going to... Well, I imagine he probably will be flying low. He'll probably fly low if he's actually coming in here with carrier attack planes, perhaps. So we might have an opportunity to at least damage some of these planes. I don't imagine we'll do much in the way of damage to them. If he really does fly down low, we might actually shoot down maybe one or two, or at least damage one or two. Nothing really spectacular. But at the end of the day, if there's any sort of resistance, that's not going to be great for him. He doesn't really want resistance. Yeah, so in reality, I think what we'll do here then at Wake is we'll have the process of unloading continue. Now, I may leave a ship with some supply, but I don't need a huge amount of supply here at Wake Island. How much do we actually consume here at Wake? Apparently a fair amount. Well, that's not the consumption, that's just what's required here. So what we'll do then is... Ooh, that's an actual destroyer tender, okay. Well, what I'm going to do here then... I'm going to leave you behind. So Wakaba is going to stay behind. Yeah, she's going to stay behind. Now what I'm going to do then is have you destroy Hatsushima. She's going to lead the remaining transports to track. There we go. The reason for that is we really need to have these islands as sparse as really available. Now we do have the two AMCs actually heading over here to Wake Island. Now the issue is I'd be fucking devastated if these AMCs were to be sunk at sea. But let's say like a carrier force, as it would mean a lot of men lost, and I really can't afford to lose men. They don't really have much in the way of actual AA. I mean, the Aikoku Maru actually does have a alright AA complement. I suppose at least we do have the benefit of the fact that, well, we actually do have some seaplanes here. So at least we do have a possibility of detecting something a few hexes out. Which is at least nice. Okay, I really need to get an idea of what is around this area. So run and patrol around Johnson Island. I don't know how he might approach the situation. I do feel like he might actually, yeah, he might head to Johnson Island. That's kind of the way I'm thinking he's going to go here. Most likely. We do have I-7, she does have her search plane. Could use her on a reconnaissance run. She's not going to survive this, I don't imagine. But it might be worthwhile to actually get some reconnaissance over Pearl Harbor. Any sort of information would be worth its weight in gold. Because at the end of the day, if we were to actually use the reconnaissance plane, and she's like, oh hey, I see some flat tops over there, then yeah, that would be amazing. It might even change his entire strategy if he was to be aware that I knew where his carriers were. It would be very interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at the situation over here. We do have another submarine on the way in here, very good. I think what we're going to do here then is really not allowing the luxury to escape. We'll head into Suva. Not into the port itself, but definitely into that vicinity. You've got to remember that each hex is about 40 nautical miles, well 40 square miles I believe. So it's not as if we're actually heading directly into the port when we head into these hexes here. What we're wanting to do here then is, if we can hit anything on its way out, I do believe he's going to be desperately trying to evacuate. Okay, so you're on full speed. I-21 actually has the blessings of a naval search plane. So what we're going to do here then, set patrol zone. Kidabutai can take care of the reconnaissance over here. We're going to have you actually run patrols over here at Nadi. Yes, there we go. Mission speed, please. Okay. So yeah, what we're trying to do here then is, for the most part, just pick off anything we can. Absolutely anything we can. If it leaves the port over here, we need to sink it. I believe one of my submarines did take a severe amount of damage, yeah. I-15 has been effectively crippled. We still have I-25 and I-170. We can't really enforce a complete blockade here. Eventually we'll be able to repair them all. Okay, so the replacements would be delayed over here. So we obviously would have to hold our position there. Okay. Yeah, we don't have amazing veterans throughout this. I'd love to get these men out of here. Oh well, it should be ready to go in a day. So in a day, if we can make it to track, we'll take it to track. If not, we'll have it sent back to Bab al-Duab. We have a great amount of force actually converging in this area. That's the good thing here. The Euler Euro is going to be extraordinarily important. I'm actually really wondering, is it potentially worth my time to actually send some float planes down here to survive? Now, I'd like to send these Jakes, but I don't have any, like, well, I don't really have anything there. We might actually be able to get a fast transport in there now to survive. Especially considering the lack of attention then he may actually be placing there. He may not expect a unit to actually sneak in. Okay, so you're unloading supply here, that's good. Now Kishima. She's armoured. She's armoured and she has an okay amount of AA. To be honest, in 1944 she'll actually have an okay AA complement. Yeah, that's not bad, you know. For an old bird like this, that's not bad. I do love these cruisers. Yeah, what I'm thinking here is we send the first engineering unit. Tarawa has the support she requires. In 24 aviation support would be really handy. Really, really good. We do have plus 19 from the AV Kamoi over here. Oh, wow. So the Tenro actually has significantly more armor. Doesn't make a difference on the actual level here. I take it she probably can't be rearmed here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. See, if I take these engineers, I've taken away the ability here to expand at Tarawa. But it will be done. I think it could be potentially worth our time to actually try and sneak an engineering unit down here to survive. If I can actually get an engineering unit in there, I'd be able to run float planes from that area reliably. Though the thing is, I don't really have much in the way of actual support. And you know what, thinking about it, it's probably not worth the effort, considering the fact that we'd have to travel quite far. We'd be doing so with little fuel. We'd be doing so solo. And with a US base over here that is active. It's not worth the effort. I mean, the 51st Naval Guard is doing well here. Oh, Kotori is actually commissioned in 1940. Wow. That's brilliant. I honestly thought she was an older ship. With her really low speed there. This really intrigues me. I really want those tankers. Now, I could risk the I-19. But it's not worth it. I did have something in the area suggesting activity over Christmas Island. Yeah, use them to transport. Yeah, you are correct. I could have the H6KLs actually transferred there to Tarawa and actually have them potentially drop them in there. Or even from Funafuti. Range is 31 hexes, so too far there. Though I could actually have an engineering unit transferred to Canton Island. And begin to enact repairs at Canton Island, perhaps. Baker Island also has a airfield. See, Palmyra is very intriguing to me. Those tankers are extraordinarily valuable. The thing is, if I could actually get in there to actually hit the tankers, then that would be a major, major boon there. The thing is, I don't know. I'm going to allow the submarine I-24 to actually check out Christmas Island. We'll see what we can detect over there. But yes, the submarine I-19, she's going to stay on task over here. I don't think the tanker's going to be leaving, but what I need to do is actually assess the situation, really gather some additional information here. Japan invasion bonus ends by March. Don't forget Dutch East Indies and Java. You need to start stockpiling oil ASAP. Yep, exactly. We do have the entirety of January. We also do have the entirety of May. Oh, sorry, February. So that's good. We are going to be making plans over here. We are going to be making moves over here pretty quickly. But how good is this invasion bonus, actually? Because that's very intriguing. And if the invasion bonus is worthwhile, we might try and take it at Noumea. That's one to consider. She may need to actually begin heading back to refuel soon. But we'll keep on target over here for the time being. Maybe another 2 days. She's no munitions. But she can do. We'll have her make her way down the Australian coastline. I need a submarine tender out in this area. Right, to be honest, I'm going to have these submarines return to truck. The reason is I want to refuel them. And I want to make a massed submarine push. Well, submersible push. What's your plan with Kidiwutai? We'll go over that one shortly, actually. You'll return to refuel. You can remain on station for the time being. And I'm going to have you return to refuel as well. Though, to be honest, I'd like to have a second submarine actually watching a Rabaul. We'll continue our reconnaissance over the Rabaul. Reconnaissance apparently didn't pick anything up over here. So run additional reconnaissance. It's Rabaul I obviously need to know about. True, but the thing is, if we don't pull them out in time, they will quickly run out of fuel. I'm going to have them brought back to truck so I can actually refuel them and have them made ready. I'd rather have them available for action in, let's say, around the New Hebrides Islands, around New Caledonia, with a full complement of fuel, at least as much as possible, rather than just sort of meandering around the Coral Sea where they're not doing particularly amazing for me. Okay. So I want to set up an amphibious task force over here. Well, amphibious landing force. I don't really have troop capacity, do I? So the Toho Maru has arrived, and is she actually carrying fuel? I don't believe she's actually carrying fuel, but she has an amazing amount of capacity. Yeah, well, let's get her loaded up. Yeah, we need them to rest. I put a couple actual extra planes in here, so we'll have 9 of the actual squadron itself. We'll have 4 in reserve. How many are you landed on Yellow Island north of Noumea? Estimates of his troops versus his troops in Noumea. Well, see, this is it. The planned bonuses are going to be required. Well, we are over here then. I think what I'm going to do here then is actually combine the amphibious task forces. Considering there's only that one there, so that's not a bad idea. Okay. Lemurs. Usenet. Will you use combat engineers during the assault? I don't think I actually have any combat engineers. I mean, trust me, if I had anything, I would use it. What I'm trying to work out here is, I'd like to actually build up a force that is going to have everything in one. But able to move at a decent speed. Speed is going to be important. To be honest, I don't really have a choice, do I want to use here? We are awaiting supply to actually arrive, to be honest. It might be a better idea to actually have this as the actual landing forces. Granted, there's only a small amount of supply there. So I think we could probably do with actually having some additional supply loaded on. But the logistics train is catching up, so it's not going to be too far away. Yeah, you can definitely handle that. We do have this element over here. They're going to be 2 days out. My zero. Okay. So 25% planning bonus for... They're planning for Pico Pico. Well, that sucks. Fairly good detection there. Okay, so we'll have, in this area then, so there's 1,448 men there. Another 1,286 men. Well, this unit over here, this one was actually brought from Talawa. Originally, they were going to be intended to actually snag Pico Pico, but considering the idea that we went for of all in, I think we forgot to change them. But that's fine. We'll begin to build up that plan bonus. We do have the other elements. See, we do have some 66 Naval Guard over here too. But I'm going to keep them there to hold on to Funafuti. Yeah, don't worry, Carl. Chill your beans. Those guys were from Talawa. They weren't originally intended to actually head down here as such. We are loading troops up over here as well, so it's going to take them a couple of days. So I'll give them actual orders to head for Luganville once they're ready. They can share that fuel. Okay, just make your way down here. She's actually pretty speedy. To be honest. That makes a lot more sense. Right, we're gonna actually meet up with the tanker over here and merge. It's funny you say that just as I send them to meet up with the tanker. So who looks silly now, motherfucker? Right, there we go. So they're gonna make good time. I quite like this tanker, so she's actually really handy. So yeah, it's gonna be a few days then before we actually meet up over here. Not too bad, not too bad. So I think the idea here is going to be we build up Luganville, we base our forces over here at Luganville, we'll run reconnaissance over the islands, and really choose when and where we deliver the killing blow. See, the thing is, we need to discuss the fact that in reality, I mean, this is it. In reality, I mean, we did see some losses to the Allies last turn. I know it said something like 100 to 200 vehicles, but obviously that's nowhere near reality. And it's obviously grossly overstated reports. I mean, these reports aren't accurate. It was nice. It'd be nice to think that there was that many vehicles on board, but we have no idea if that's actually accurate. So we're going to go with the assumption that it's actually grossly a overstatement of the actual fact. It could have been anything, really, from support vehicles. It's not going to be tanks or anything like that. I mean, it'd be great if there was some tanks, but who knows? We don't know, so we're not going to assume that it was tanks. We're going to assume that it was probably just some jeeps or something, which still useful. And if there's any engineering vehicles, that'd be really handy. So what we have to understand here is... okay, 1 second. So... New Caledonia, the Fiji area, Pago. These are areas where we know where the US garrison forces are, at least the Allied garrison forces are. There's definitely some troops over here. So, over here then, so 5 to 6k perhaps? Maybe. Over here. I don't know. I'm gonna say... 2 to 4k, I guess. Over here at Pago. I don't know, maybe 1,000 men. Oh my god, it's really hard to write here using this mouse. Okay, so maybe something like that in terms of actual strength. It's hard to really say what's going on here in this area. I'm not happy with that too. So in reality, let's take a look at this. I love that. Okay. So yeah, this is it. We need to really take a look at what we can manage here. Granted, we need to really understand what we're dealing with, so we'll try to run reconnaissance and really get an idea. Are you going to move your carriers more south of New Caledonia, try to catch those retreating ships? I know you have subs from the Aussies trying to intercept there. And we will do, we'll move closer to New Caledonia to actually intercept the ship, well, intercept the shipping. I might have it actually move to the north, perhaps, but the thing is we're going to be in great range, so I could just head to the, I could head to the centre of New Caledonia and we'd be able to catch quite a lot there. A few of his ships have been damaged, which is good, so obviously they're not going to be going anywhere fast. We are aware of Lancashire, but the thing is, she's not going to be able to escape, so we do have the range on her, no matter what. I mean, we saw the ships over here damaged. Have you been able to reconnoitre for defensive subs near the target? Well, this is what we're going to be doing. At the moment, we currently have the F-102 Petes running reconnaissance over Comac and Noumea, but the F-102 Petes have really been, for the most part, knocked out, which is not really a good sign. That is a sign of AA, really. And that's not nice. There's not a huge amount of guns at Noumea, so I'm hoping that the vast majority aren't AA, and in fact they're other guns, but I'm going to assume that a few of them are at least AA guns at this point. I'm going to assume probably some decent ones as well. He might even have something like 40mm or something like that. Fiji is more important to him, so the garrison is probably bigger. Potentially so, potentially so. I mean, this is it, we need to run reconnaissance over here. See. We can starve Fiji. We can actually starve them. There's no supply production on the island. Same as Pago Pago. We could starve them both. That could be accomplished. The issue is with New Caledonia, it can't be starved. At least not really. They're going to produce a small amount of supplies, which is a shame. So it might be a case of we have to take it out, because, well, to be honest, it'd be a fantastic base. It is honestly the best base in the area. I mean, Fiji would be a brilliant base. Because at the end of the day, it's out of range of Australia, which is good. But obviously it depends on the actual resistance here. But yeah, I may leave Fiji and Pago Pago to starve. If I keep them isolated through aerial domination of the area, then I can starve them. New Caledonia is rough. But I think with New Caledonia, we'd be able to bombard the actual forces then at Noumea, which would give us an advantage. But I think it might come down to if the garrison size at Comac is actually lighter, actually smaller in size, then I might land at Comac. Take Comac. And then possibly march south into Noumea. How long would it take you to starve them? A month, maybe more, even so you would have to intercept all the shipping during that time. True. But that could be accomplished through submarines. I think it really all comes down to the numbers here. Now, we do have 5,500 men roughly here in the area. That number will increase in time. And in reality, I have another 1,000 to 2,000 men just at Guadalcanal and Shortland. At Truck, I have some actual armor, artillery, and some additional men. And then we have additional men on their way, another like 5,000 to 6,000. We could potentially bring the AMC from Midway, well, the two AMCs from Midway with elements of the regiment there. So that's another 2,000 men. Obviously, we're out with equipment. That's still another few thousand men. I do have 3,000 men actually on their way to Dwarb. It's a very interesting situation. I think what we need to do here then is really embrace the situation and see what sort of potential it actually does bring. So yes, he has men over here. But the thing is, he's had to take from the left hand to pave the right. Where have those men come from? They've got to come from somewhere. They've got to have come from somewhere. I'm going to say probably Australia. Probably elements from New Zealand as well. Take Tanna. Yeah. I know. Where can you rearm your Nagato class and Congo class BBs in the Pacific? And we could rearm them at Truk, which is obviously a couple of days to the north and obviously be a couple of days down south again. So the thing is that bombardment is going to have to be a, it's a costly affair. But the thing is, if there's AA actually at the base, it's not going to be worth my time to really run the aerial bombardment. I'd like to actually bombard the actual base itself with as much surface power as possible, and then probably hit it with air power, ideally after knocking out some guns there. The reason would be then it actually increased the amount of disruption and ideally the fatigue of the enemy forces there on the island. I mean, what I want to do here then is I want to actually build up an airfield at Luganville. To be honest, I was considering actually having the air headquarters, where air fleet will actually base there at Truk. I think, to be honest, I'm going to have to just go straight for it. Now, I do have these forces over here. I mean, the 4th Infantry Regiment is my big boy in the area. They do make some good speed, you know. They do make good speed. I could have it make directly for Luganville. How many days? So it has 49 hexes to cover. So if we take a look at 49 hexes divided by 4, then let's figure this one out. Hello there, Major. It's been a while since I've seen you, my friend. I do hope you're keeping well. What madness are you planning now? Oh, Major, did you not see the last turn? Okay, anyway, 49 divided by 4. So it would be then about 12.5 days. Send the 4th to LA, yeah, definitely. I'm going to LA. We'd have an AG over here. These guys are handy. They're basically, they're like kind of like auxiliaries, that general purpose, and they can help rearm and repair like light ships. Okay. I do need to refuel here. What I'm going to do here then is go for a minimal refuel. Oh man. Okay, so Major, we did actually finally reach New Caledonia. And we actually did knock out quite a few ships last turn. So let's take a look at the ship sunk. And there we go. So this was Italy last turn from what we could actually see. The thing is, we've actually been able to reach New Caledonia with elements of Kiributai. We did knock out the President Coolidge at long last. And quite a few of transports around the area. We may have sunk more with our submarines as well. We did have some success off of Auckland and off of Fiji. Well, we did sink an actual proper troop transport over there. But yeah, we did see a couple over here. We did damage quite a few. We sank a couple over here at Auckland. We're basically building up our forces over here at Luganville. So next turn we will capture Luganville. And what we're doing here at the moment is really assessing the situation. We have discovered there's about 4.7 thousand men over here. Which is a shame. I was hoping for less. Now, somebody has mentioned that there is a Japanese planning bonus when it comes to amphibious land. Well, an amphibious bonus when it comes to the Japanese. So, I don't know how great that bonus is. I don't know whether it could be worthwhile actually still attempting new mayor after some time of resting and basically building our forces. Those big Bs, those are 2 first in loose effectiveness. Recommendation, park on the Tokyo Bay. Yeah. So those ships are the premier allied troop transport. And the HUL Escort, well, the HUL Escort was quite a nice prize too. Non-availability, ship sunk. Last turn. Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's a big old beastie. I mean, that is a big, big ship there. 15,500 tons. That is a big ship. She's fairly durable as well. Now, what was awesome is if I show you the actual reports here. So we'll go to our combat reports. Yep, you can see here then. We did unfortunately have a submarine run into a mine here, but unfortunately. But as you can see, we did hit a few other Yep, the Tamamaru was actually obliterated there, unfortunately. But we did hit the Ragatata. 2 hits. Heavy damage. The Japanese amphibious bonus is basically you get enhanced unloading speed and reduced disruption when in amphibious landed mode. Okay, that's good to know. That would be very handy, actually, to be honest, if we could actually get the troops down there. So the President Coolidge was hit by 1 torpedo. Yes, she did survive this. We did see 2 guns lost here. If you're landed into serious opposition, you'll have a bad time. Yeah, pretty much. The Sapadonia we did unfortunately miss. Iron Chieftain we did take out. And the Huel Scott did survive this first attack. Luganville we did unfortunately lose a few casualties there. Ragatara, Tira, she did survive. Yep, the Hugh L. Scott was torpedoed twice there. 24 casualties aboard here supposedly. I believe she went down. Okay. Ah, here we go. Have I gone past what I was looking for? Yes, the Coolidge actually did have a few troops aboard here. I'm trying to find the one I'm actually looking for. Where is it? So that's at Medan. Right, so that's the Huel Scott. We'll continue going down here. So there's Mersing. Right, here we go, Numea. So we did actually have the first squadron's attack from Kiributai. At least the 4 carriers there. Now the major thing here is 100 vehicles lost here, supposedly. Now obviously that number is grossly overstated. And I don't imagine it's entirely... Yeah, I don't imagine it's correct. But to be honest, whatever was aboard there was carrying vehicles. So that's nice, at least we did do that. We did inflict heavy damage on the Duntroon and heavy damage on the Nyarana. The Fiofano Livanos was sunk in that battle. Now over here, we did unfortunately miss the Lancashire. She did survive all the attacks here. But a couple casualties here, but indeed more vehicles lost over here, which is really good. So I think we did manage to arrive at a time, quite a bad time for THG as well, actually, because it seems like, and even if there's like only let's say only 10% of those vehicles are actual losses, that's still vehicles lost at sea, which is still very good. And yeah, you take a look at these destroyed and disabled. Who knows what was aboard there. I wish I could have hit the Lancashire, but yeah, that's nice. I don't know if the President Coolidge went down. That's what I'm wondering about. We'll see about that one. Vehicles are worth more victory points. XAKs and XAPs are terrible at damage control, that's true. Okay, what we're going to do here then. I'm going to actually go with a minimal refuel. How far away are you? 7 hexes. Okay. I need to actually refuel here at sea, otherwise we are going to have issues. So minimal refuel replacement. Yep, there we go. Yeah, we did have to burn a full turn of, well, a turn at full speed here to arrive in the area to actually engage the enemy. Which I'm not going to regret. But we do have to be quite careful. What I am going to do now is actually head as close to New Caledonia as I can. Let's see, which is actually closer. Let's work on this one out, shall we? GFB. Would it be wise to move parallel to Numea so you can hit Suva now? But what we need to do here is wait for the rest of Kiributai to catch up, and we are going to probably have to head back to Luganville to actually refuel once the oilers do arrive here. Probably take fuel from the actual transports as well. Our submarines are doing a lot of work over here at Fiji. I don't know. I don't think there's a huge amount of shipping over at Fiji at the moment. We'll see really what happens. But we are going to continue the pounding at Numea for the time being. The fuel situation is one we can't ignore. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, carries it amongst the merchant ships. And this is it. As far as I'm aware, there isn't any warship here. We see a transport here, we see another 2 transports here, we see whatever that one is as well. I mean, God knows what that is, but we could potentially hit another troop transport there. Either way. And this is it, we're really talking about New Caledonia. We do still have options in the area. We're going to run reconnaissance over to Rabaul and see how that turns out. See, the thing is, Major, we did have something indicating a report. Well, we had a report indicating that there might be American carriers over here at Pearl Harbor. So what I'm theorizing, and what we've been theorizing for the last couple episodes really, is basically once the conflict begins down here at New Caledonia, just in the South Pacific as it has, is he actually going to then spring a counterattack from Hawaii over to the Marsh Islands? At the Marsh Islands, we do have a couple bombers. We are moving things around. I've managed to actually establish some bombers over here at Wake Island, as well as a base force. But what we are going to be doing is, at the first sign of trouble, getting everything basically out of there as we can. I've taken some elements from the regiment over here at Midway to evacuate them, so we do have 2,500 men here. In reality, we're just really trying to prepare the Marsh Islands, Wake, Midway, as much as possible. Oh, God. I mean, we could do, but that'd be very risky, and it's very thirsty. We've used a lot of fuel to move down here. We don't really want to continue that. So there, Chainsaw. Howdy today. You should try Pound of the East Indies with your CVEs and CVLs. You won't have CVs there. Yep, they are. Well, to be honest, I disagree about them being strategically insignificant. He could attempt to bypass them, but that's no easy task. We have pulled the shipping out of the Marshalls, which is good. For the most part, all that remains really in Marshalls is just patrol boats. No, you are right, he can't land and hold an island. And I consider them strategically important for me because obviously it is part of the outer defense perimeter. As far as it goes for THG, he will have to more than likely look towards securing an anchorage. He may choose, to be honest, this is probably the best he'll get over here. He may just take this base, and he may just leave all these other bases really open. Yeah, it's got a decent port there. Hard to say. I know as the allied player, he will basically just isolate and bypass my islands. I mean, this was the thing that really drove the Japanese wild, the Japanese army wild, is the fact that the Americans wouldn't just land at every single island. They just bypassed them, because they didn't need to. Okay. So let's see. We've obviously reduced our movement there, but that's fine. So over here I do have range. We should have range here. How many men at truck? When it comes to truck action, let's take a look. I don't have a lot of infantry here, but I do have a lot of second line troops. I have 168 vehicles and 168 guns. Funny how that works out. We do thankfully have 3 engineer vehicles and 72 engineers. Not a huge amount of engineers, but at least these engineer vehicles do make up for a lot of that. Any island east of Truck Wake is just a speed bump. I mean, really, I need to deny him anchorage. I need to deny him a point at which he can actually refuel, to be honest. I need to use my aircraft and just submarines to really, well, treat him for the most part. If anything, I'd encourage him into the Marshalls. It's a nightmare for the islands before they can get a big amphibious operational bonus. Well, order of battle bonus. No, sorry, order of battle, okay. Well, this is it. When it comes to actual Marshalls, we do have our bombers here, but we're not going to use them at long range. I'm waiting for fighters to arrive here in the area. If he does come to the Marshalls, which I don't think he will, I know he's going to actually try something in this area. I think he's going to try and hit Wake for the most part, but I'm going to pull everything out from Wake anyway. I think in reality, if he does actually go with a counterattack from Pearl Harbor and just from Hawaii in general, I think its entire purpose is actually to try and make me overreact. The thing is, we're not going to take Kitabutai from this area. We're not going to send anything from this area to the north. The north is going to have to stick it out for the most part. The vast majority of our shipping is over here at truck. A lot of it is heading down here at truck rather than what would have been headed to the Marshall Islands. But that's fine. And I do have naval bombers over here, and I can obviously move fighters here easier and sooner than I could to the Marshalls. We'll see what occurs, really. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? That's very true. We have sunk some nice ships so far. I mean, obviously, like, things like the Maryland, I don't imagine would have been sunk. So we'll take that with a grain of salt. The good news is we haven't really lost much for a while now. I mean, we lost the Tamamaru, but that was a patrol boat. Lost a midget sub over here. Besides that... Yeah, the Kamikaze Maru, obviously that was probably a midway. No, that... no, that was down at Savai, I do believe. Yeah, these were at Savai, yeah, that's a shame. But since then, really, we haven't lost anything else, which is good. Our submarines have been doing quite well, actually. Imagine if you get a torpedo into an American carrier, would probably cream my pants watching that. I mean, this is it. If he advances on the Marshalls, we do have an opportunity to actually hit him. It would be nice. Also informed THG that British units can't be based in Dutch bases due to Brexit. Definitely. I like that. To be honest, this turn is going to go pretty quick. The best part is over here. We managed to catch him in a position where he has his warships down here. He has a fair few transports over here as well, so he's definitely doing something in this area. I mean, what intrigues me most of all is really the tankers over here at Palmyra. These are the guys I want to hit. I'd love to hit these guys. I mean, I could attempt to actually go into the port and raid it, but the thing is, I really don't want to do something like that. I'd rather wait and see for the time being. I'm going to be running reconnaissance over here in a moment. I'm going to be running a single-plane reconnaissance of Pearl Harbor, praying it bloody survives. To be honest, I'm going to actually increase its altitude just to try and help it survive. I really need this bad boy to survive. That'd be nice. She's really slow. To be honest, I'm going to put her to maximum altitude. I know it's not a good idea. Well, then again, I suppose it's okay. I just want her to actually survive and be able to do, like, a couple days of reconnaissance, rather than just doing 1 day reconnaissance and then being shot out of the air. But yes, we managed to catch him with a few warships over here. There's possibly a few warships here in this area. Maybe 2 to 4, maybe 5 or 6. But the vast majority of these actual warships do actually seem to be down here by Auckland, basically New Zealand. The 2 submarines over here have actually been doing quite a lot of work. They actually did manage to sink about 3 or 4 troop transports so far. Only small things, but still they sank them. Which is very good. Yeah. We don't have a huge amount of time over here in New Zealand, however, before we have to come back to refuel. The carriers are in a bad way. We will send them for repairs as soon as we can. Fatigue's something we have to watch out for. Are German and Italian subs and surface raiders simulated or units you can use in the game? I don't believe we gained anything like that. I'm not entirely sure of that one. I'd say no for the most part because I'm not aware if there's any. Okay. What we're going to do here then is I'm going to bring the rest of Kitabutai. And we're going to have them head down here. To be honest, I might even have them just... there's a lot of ships over here that don't particularly need to move far. Right, no retirement allowed. You remain on station here at Luganville. What I'm going to do here then is actually assign... let's see, Task Force 13. I'm going to assign... let's just take a look at this. To be honest, I do want to keep Hiei and Kirishima with the actual carrier force, considering the fact that they are very useful as a great storage of fuel. They also do have a lot of defensive firepower. What I might do here then is actually bring Furutak and Kakao with Kitabutai, considering the fact that they are able to make 31 knots. And I could do with some additional DDs, to be honest. Yeah, combat abattoirs run over the carriers. I do have a destroyer over here at 89, so we're going to take that one from 89. Hamakaze. She's beaten up, but she can still work. I don't know. It might even be worthwhile just to leave them here just so that they're not burning fuel. Right, I'm going to have them head out to link up again with Kitabutai. Reform the unit. About 2 days, give or take. Two to 3 days until they can rejoin. So there, Totika. I mean, the carriers are chewed up really due to the strains that's put on them from full power. Well, from full speed. I made that massive mistake too often. But we've learned since then. That and, well, this is it. All ships have to eventually go in for, like, maintenance and refit, basically. But yeah, for those of you who are unaware, Tortuga Power is a fantastic content creator. Definitely recommend checking him out. Awesome dude. And, you know what, I do love that American accent. Really smooth. You should send your seaplane character to Kitabutai to scout Kamaka and Numea. Yep, it's going to be heading down there, actually. Chito. What's our range like? Yeah, we are within range here. Fantastic. Set all flow planes of this task force to search. I mean, my F1 M2 Pete there did take a beating. I'm going to use the actual reconnaissance here from, well, to be honest, I don't know. Do I run the F1 M2 Petes? I'm going to use the F1 M2 Petes over, well, what remains of them from Chikuma. Over Numea. I need to get a better idea of what we're seeing here. As far as we can tell, it looks as if these guys are just completely unescorted, which I find hard to believe. I imagine there's a warship around here somewhere. So there is a danger to near in New Caledonia, but we do have 2 heavy cruisers alongside a couple of destroyers. What I'll do here then is, at the first sign of trouble, I'm going to tell them to obviously disengage. So low threat tolerance. We can't really allow them to near us. Yeah, Tone and Jakuma, and a couple of destroyers. We really are hoping that the aircraft will be on point here. The more information you get on its troops, depending on naval bombardment, would be, yep, true. I'd love to be like a vampire and suck all the fuel out of here. But I'm going to wait for the time being, because obviously I want Kitabutai to catch up. I say his warships are at Suva as well as New Zealand. Yeah, it seems like his warships are over here. At least some of them anyhow. I think what we'll do then is we'll use our reconnaissance to really get an idea of the picture. We do have a Rabal over here. We are using G3M2 bombers from truck to actually run reconnaissance over the island. Well, at least over the base. We do have our logistics train on its way to catch up, which is great. I mean, the thing is, this is a massive operation. I may take the armor from over here. So I do have the 8th Tank Regiment. That's 144 vehicles, 21 Type 95s, and 59 Type 89s. So, not particularly spectacular. Not particularly spectacular. But still, it's useful. And we take a look over here then. So the, apparently this is a Type 95 heavy tank. This is a light tank, yeah. I'm going to assume that is wrong there. So, light tank. There we go, that's more like it. Fucking love these things. And what, so we only have 37mm tank gun there. Yeah, they're really quite small. But at the end of the day, this thing is really, really bloody useful for anything like this. It'd be great if we had Shermans. Remember to prepare for landed unit ship, definitely. We are going to have them made ready. And then was it the Type 89A? There we go. I mean, obviously this is better. Would much rather have that thing. It would be a few days south into New Caledonia, and it's the question of, like, really would armor be worth it there? Probably not. Rabal is a jungle. I mean, I'm gonna have to go for Port Moresby. I'd love to take control of Horn Island and, like, establish a garrison there. Basically, mine the ever living hell out of the area. That would be great. I don't know. It's a hard question of as to, like, where we use the armor. And the armor could always be potentially used. I mean, it would actually do quite well over here in Java. Actually, might be quite useful to have it sent to Java. But we do have artillery that could be sent out there. Yeah, the 17th Medium Field Artillery Regiment over here at Truck. 24 guns, sorry, no, 29 guns there, 24 15cm T96 howitzers, so pretty good, pretty big guns, and a little bit of AA. So 24 of them in total. They're fairly easy to move around. I can do that. Very like that. It does give me enough. Yeah, Kiso ease. I don't know, could they even make the trip down there to Luganville? It's a fair old trip. Well, they could make it. Okay, might be worthwhile. But to be honest, we might be able to use something with actual speed rather than that. Mining Horn Island would force him to import only Darwin and Perth on the west side of Australia, which means another bottleneck to take advantage of. Yeah, that's true. Another thing that you should that should help would be air attacks if you want. Although I think hitting the ships are just as important as Noumea. We're going to hit the ships and really clear the seas of any sort of ship, really, for the time being. I'd bombard Noumea before using aircraft. But what I'd like to actually do is build up a airfield over here at Luganville. Now we do have a port over here. We could actually build up a nice sized airbase in the area. That'd be good. That would be nice. True, but the thing is, we will have to suffer AA. We don't have the luxury of being able to replace our units out there. I'd have to head over a truck to replace them. I do need to actually repair Kitabutai as well, so we'll have to really think about this one. I think for the time being, though, we'll just continue as we are, basically just continue to hit his ships out here. So let's take a look at our settings. Yeah, 100% on task. Using torpedoes. The thing is, we are going to be running low on torpedoes here rather soon. Well, maybe give or take. I think I might keep about 10% of the squadron still on search. I think it's not a bad idea. So reconnaissance of a Comac. And reconnaissance of a Noumea. Though I'm going to increase our altitude. I'll increase it to about, we'll say about 20,000 feet over these areas. We don't know what he could have in terms of actual, well, AA, so we need to bear that one in mind. I'd rather be wrong and have the plane survive than be right and, yeah, have the plane shot. Well, I think I've said that the wrong way around, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'd rather be wrong and the aircraft survive due to us being overcautious than to have it flying to the teeth of some AA. That might have been why we lost so many F1M2 Petes over here. Okay. Additional warships are on the way to the area. Additional troops are on the way as well. Definitely. I might be able to use a Nagara and these actual ships over here. To be honest, what we're going to do then. Surface combat. Possibly so. We might lower it down to about 15,000 feet then, perhaps. Okay, what I'm going to do here then is take the light cruiser Nagara and the two destroyers. I'm going to have them make their way over here to Truk. When they arrive at Truk, let's take a look at their capacity. So if I made this a fast transport mission, 550 troop capacity, 300 cargo capacity, so nothing amazing. What about cutting a force in the middle of the island? I don't know if you can actually land forces just on these unoccupied hexes. I've honestly never tried it. I don't know if you can actually do it. If you could, that'd be awesome, but I don't know if you can. Really, I don't know about that one. I don't know if you can do it or not. Probably not M4 Shermans. They started accepting it for production, okay, in October 41, but first went operational in North Africa in October 42. That's interesting then. Thank you very much for that, Sasha. Yeah, I mean, it might be worthwhile to actually see. Well, we'll probably land over here to Comac, depending. I think it really depends on the amount of numbers here. I'm going to say that probably Noumea is going to be the one built up. I mean, at least if I landed over here to Comac, it would actually give us a usable base in the area. It doesn't actually have an airfield, but that, well, that could be sorted out fairly quickly. But at least it would put us on the island. But the thing is, it wouldn't score us a victory. It'd take control of Comac, but the thing is I need to take Numair out. But we'd have to do both of them anyhow. So we'll take a look at what we're looking... well, what we can see, really. I'll go ahead and lower the altitude then of the reconnaissance flights. I'll go for about 10,000 feet then. We'll make it about 12. Okay, I'm going to have you run reconnaissance as well. I would very much like reconnaissance over combat. We do have a lot of F1M2 Peats that can be really put into action. A size 7 airfield at that, which can expand up to a size 9. Yep. Actually, large event, potentially Numair as well. 1 mile, 5,280 feet, indeed. I'm just worried about the AA. Fine, we'll drop it further. I'll try 8,000 feet then. Let's make sure that I'm not, like, basically... 12k is good. God damn it. That's a shame. I need to replace some of these losses here, definitely. Yeah, we'll have our forces ready then. Over here at Luganville. To these additional forces that came from Talawa. Probably not. I might change the altitude then to... I mean, we might go for about 12,000 feet then with that one at... I don't know. So you're in naval search, but I absolutely do need that. The good news is we do have 6 Jakes in that area with the 2 heavy cruisers there. Okay, we'll have this other submarine of the I-22 actually head down here to Pearl Harbor. Those submarines head into the American coastline. Non-detected. Non-detected. Non-detected, non-detected. There we go. And obviously we do have additional submarines moving north then. Okay, so you're beginning to load up some engineers. And some supplies. Yep, we do have the Mizuho. She's on her way. We do then have with her the light cruiser Kiso, 4 destroyers, and 3 additional oilers. And these are big oilers. Make it to Saipan. They'll make it. So size 6 airfield here. I don't know whether it's worth it to continue expanding it. I think I expand it to a size 7, then we'll be able to actually upgrade aircraft without having to have like an incredible amount of aviation support, really. So it might be worthwhile. I suppose it's in a decent spot where it might be useful. I mean, I'd like to actually have something over here behind, well, around Seattle. I'd love to take something of the Aleutian Isles at some point in the future, but I don't have infinite amounts of men. Two days until the rest of the 84th Naval Guard appears over here at Saipan. Once they're here at Saipan, I'll have that unit reform into its full, have the other elements of the 84th reform, and I'll be able to move it around. That'd be nice to actually have some additional troops there. Okay, begin to make their way towards Luganville. It might even be worthwhile to stop at Luganville, sorry, to stop at Truck and then refuel and then head out. But I do need those logistics down there. I'll keep you there. I was considering then for a moment having Chichijima Special Base Force actually transferred all the way down here to Funafuti, but that's going to take a long time. Right, Tori. She has a few troops aboard here. A fair few, actually. Yeah, another 8 guns, a vehicle there, 112 infantry, 207 troops. Well, second line. We'll have her sent then down towards Luganville too. Did you rebuild that division in China Yukon a few episodes ago? Yeah, we actually managed to rebuild that one over to Formosa. There she is, the 56th Division. I do have the division over here that I can rebuild. I mean, once we do conquer Taiping, then I'll have these units move down here via the railroads. We'll have the division form up, and then we can begin our march down here. Additional infantry there of the 124th. Okay, submarines over here, that was one. Okay, you've loaded up. Fantastic. Only a little bit of supply there, but that's fine by me. What we're going to do then is have them make their way towards Muri. Replenish task force from port. Yep, you're good to go. Oh, when you see rebuild, sorry, say rebuild, you mean as a reform one? I do have the 34th, which obviously is making her way to friendly lines over here, then obviously she should be able to rebuild. The 22nd was hurt, but should be okay. In fairness, I might even have her begin to march on Wenchao too. May as well. She'll arrive a day after, or 2 days after these other divisions, but if it is required, then it would be a good idea. In all honesty, she could probably stay in Wenchao and actually just be a caretaker unit until she recovers. We do have heavy industry there, resources, light industry, so yeah, they're quite good. Very nice. Ah, there we go, the 38th is finally able to be rebuilt. So saves a man, and doesn't happen. Odd. I think sometimes it might be due to a unit just arriving or something of that nature. Yeah, so return to Malvar. It might have upgraded. Actually, I do think elements of the 38th did upgrade. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think elements of it did upgrade. 32nd, ah, right, 38th and 38th. So A and B. Ah. Well, we'll wait for them to upgrade and then we'll be able to reform it. There we go, we can rebuild the 32nd now. Suchao does need a garrison. Yeah, well over garrison requirements here. I'm just going to have the 12th Army move up over here towards Kaifeng, actually. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, the reason being, they'd actually be within 1 hex of them, so they should benefit then from the headquarters. Which would be very nice. Huh, mixed brigade, okay. I could use that as a garrison as such. What I'll do then is I'll move 3 of these Chinese units to Suchao, and that should be enough to actually garrison the city. Then I'll free up the 32nd Division. Quite nicely. I'm going to lay the mines here. "15 mines. 10 mines. Yep, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay mines at Ominato and at Hakadati. The reason being then I can actually mine off this area. We're going to do the same over here. Any word on when this game might go on sale? Hard to say, really. I did ask Matrix and Slytherin the other day, like whether they'd consider giving away any copies on one of my future streams, like obviously when I do one for them. But, I don't know. They say they can't do it too often. But they'll do something in the future. If I find out they're going to be doing a stream in the future, then... Sorry, a sale in the future, then I'll definitely let you know. Is this the final part of a turn? To be honest, we don't have a huge amount left to do. Not a huge amount. I'm gonna have them just run Combat Air Patrol for the time being and then rest. On even not. To be honest, actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'd say probably base this squadron over to Bangkok. Considering the fact that we do have naval bombers out here in the Andaman Sea, I don't have any escorts out here. It'd be nice to have a couple escorts in the form of, well, A6720s from Bangkok. Or, I could have the A6720s transferred over here to Miri. Actually, I'm going to have them transferred to Miri. Yeah, it'd be nice actually to control that area's skies. Good on them made it. Yeah. At least then I do have an option there. You'll be arriving soon. What I'm trying to do here then is actually build up a landing force of basically warships. And I would love to take a Dutch base. It might be if I even have them move down here. I need a longer range reconnaissance craft. I think at Christmas time, it went down to about £20. What's your range? 5. That's fuck all. Okay, I'm going to instead transfer you over here to Miri. Now what I'm going to do is actually run reconnaissance over these bases down here. We'll start running the reconnaissance and really gather an idea of what's going on here. I do have 3,432 troops over there. I'm looking to actually transfer this division down here. But what I might do is actually have these forces take control of Mindanao. I mean, I could have them brought down here, but I don't think that's really worth it. I'm looking forward to when they're carrier trained. Because at the end of the day, they have to spend a while on the actual carriers to become carrier trained. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to use this force over here. I mean, it'd be nice to actually use them to actually, I'd say probably to aid in invasions, really. I'm going to use these light cruisers for fast transport missions, really. I'll have that force transfer to... I don't know, could they upgrade it Saigon? Possibly. I guess for the time being we'll just have them based here until we can think of a actual effective use for it. Otherwise we're just going to be burning fuel here. He wouldn't dare risk a surface raid, at least I don't think he would. Actually, going back over here, I almost forgot about this. Okay, you're both loaded, that's great. Okay, question's going to be like, where the hell do we actually mine? It might be worthwhile to mine this area here, but we also need to look for, like, shallow waters. I kind of think mine here. And Medic. Yeah, I could send some submarines to go and mine that area. I mean, 1% per day DK rate. Or is it 1% without a tender? I can't remember what it is. I think it's like 1% decay in shallow waters. But I think we could potentially put a couple mines down here. I mean, 24 mines that, like, I don't know. If like 1 or 2 disappear per day, that's fine. I'd mine Batavia, but the thing is, I don't know. I don't want to get hit by mines myself, but I mean, we could do. It could be worth the risk. I think we'll have it head down on its way towards the medic. But we'll always have the option to change it. I just think it could be quite nice actually to mine this area, as it would then ideally put some threat under him. Well, some threat to him here. To be honest, you can still operate in this area. I'll have you operate just over here, actually. Yeah, the deals tend to last a while. Long enough to actually pick up the game up, to be fair. Ooh, carrier trained and capable. Fantastic. Oh, fucking hell. This area takes so goddamn long. It's like been into my asthma. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, deep water is 33%. I think it's significantly less. Is it 5% or 1%? It might be like 5% per day in shallows. This looks like shallow water. But for the most part, other than that, I think we're good to go for the turn. I mean, what do you guys think then? 5% per day. Yeah, I think it's 1% day per day with a night tender. So that's not too bad then. We can manage with that. Yeah, which is quite good for us. That's it. Yeah, so unless anybody can think of anything here, I think we are good to go for the turn. Wasn't a massive amount really for us to do, just mostly just checking over things as normal. We have restarted armament production. Take a quick look at R&D actually. Okay, the A6M30. Oh, 0% if you have a tender, okay. Yeah, so the A6M30 R&D is getting underway. No progress as such as of yet, but obviously this will increase. Having a 6-1 is pretty good. It's all about type, actually. It'll be the Tojos that arrive first, to be honest. Looking forward to when they do. Right, so the light industry in Port Arthur is not producing supply due to the lack of supplies there. Sorry, the lack of resources there. Oh, the engines. Right. I was wondering what you meant there. I thought you were talking about mines at first. I'm like, what you talking about, Willis? Okay. To be honest, it needs to be stockpiled, doesn't it? $35, 218. It's, yeah, kind of getting there. Kind of getting there. I forget what the hell uses the HA31. I'm not entirely sure about that one. Really need more Phase 4 engines. Actually, you know what? Cancel that. I need to save supply. Very good commander. To be fair, it's too dangerous to really rest here. We could do. We could. Training. Ah. Okay, well. We might have been able to transfer them all, but hey. Oh well. They'll catch up. Weather isn't going to be great. But this is going to help us, I suppose. I mean, will it help us over here? Possibly so. Not so much when it comes to actually striking at the enemy, but we do have a lot of reconnaissance. But it would be nice if the overcast weather actually does hide our own forces, actually. That would be good. Though it may hide that of the enemy. We'll see. See, the difficulty is we're in a malaria zone over here. So that does not help with fatigue. Cold zones, obviously, same again. Not too far away. What's the terrain like just outside of Wuchao? Not great either. To be honest, what I'm going to do here then, I don't think he's going to be coming back, but I'm going to go and take Pakoi. Might as well do that. I'm going to have to make some additional resources, then another base over here as well. Might as well go for it. Okay, so I'm pretty good with that then. I don't think there's anything we've missed. If we have missed it then, oh well, I'm sure it'll be okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I think we're about done here. The HG can tell you about all about the Chinese terrain being slowed down his Axis playthrough in Strategic Command World War II World at War. I've been kind of watching that as and when I got the chance to. I think he did defeat the Soviets. That's pretty awesome. But yes, thank you so very much there, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. And yeah, well, at least we have been able to actually finish the turn on a part 2 today, which is really good, just as my arse has gone completely numb. I need to get a new chair, because Jesus, I spend a long time in it sometimes. But indeed, I think we are good to go. So I'd like to say thank you so very much for watching there, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have very much enjoyed this. The situation is going to continue to get very spicy indeed. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. We've had our mishaps, we've had our setbacks. But we did have a good day yesterday. And that's what counts. We had fun. We had fun while the sun shone. Let's hope it stays that way. Forever the rising sun. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day or evening, whenever you are, whatever you're doing. Have fun. If you enjoyed this, please do consider supporting myself on Patreon and the channel on Patreon as well. It does make a mighty old difference. But at the end of the day, we've all got to eat. So, don't feel bad if you can't. No pressure. Until next time, goodbye for now.